I'll show you how I make espresso style coffee with a mocha pot. First things first, you're going to want to fill your basket. Now, this basket takes roughly 20 grams of coffee, but you want it to be full, just over the top there. No matter what size mocha pot you're using, you want that basket to be full, and then we're going to go ahead and grind this coffee. While your coffee is grinding, we're going to go ahead and take that paper filter, put it right on top of the top piece of your mocha pot. And then I'm just going to go over to the sink and just sprinkle some water on here, just to wet the filter, get rid of some of the papery taste that papers can sometimes have. And also just wetting it helps it kind of keep it there. So we've got the paper on there, fitted well, coffee's ground, so let's go ahead and prepare the basket. If you don't have a paper filter, and that is for an AeroPress, the AeroPress filters work well, then maybe just keep your grind a little bit more coarse. I'm just gonna fluff this up a little bit. Try to break up any of the clumps. Not gonna get too carried away. And basically I'm gonna fill it as much as possible. And I'm gonna grab a flat edge. I'm just going to flatten the basket. Now this part can get messy, but over time I've gotten a little bit better at just making less of a mess. Keep some of it back in the middle and tap that basket. And as you can see, there's now more room, so we want to fit as much coffee in here as possible without pressing it too hard down. Put some more there. Keep rounding off this basket. Maybe just once more. Give it some more tapping. Flatten it out again. And we're gonna call that good. You can get rid of the excess grounds. Put that to the side. Now we have our basket full of coffee. I am making a little bit of a mess here, but that's okay for the sake of a good cup of coffee. The basket is ready to go, the kettle is boiled, and we got the top piece ready to go. So now let's assemble our mocha pot and get ready to brew some coffee. Kettle's hot, so we're gonna go ahead and take this and we're gonna fill up just below that pressure valve. Now that is important, otherwise risking creating a pipe bomb on your stove, which that's never a good thing. Water's in, we're going to drop our leveled basket of coffee, take our top. This is why I put the towel underneath, because this is now pretty hot. So I'm going to go ahead and grab it with the towel, not your bare hand. Squeeze it snug, and we're going to put it right on the stove at maximum heat. We want to limit the time now that our mocha pot is on the stove, just because the longer it's on the stove, the hotter our coffee is going to get on the inside, and we don't actually want our coffee to get too hot. Now the water that's pressurizing and getting hot inside, when it goes through, it's going to extract the coffee well, but if the coffee before the extraction gets too hot, it'll increase the bitterness of the cup, which when we're using a mocha pot can already kind of tend to be a little bit bitter, so let's just minimize that. Just for the sake of the video, I thought I'd throw a timer in there, and it's already been going for about 15 seconds on the stove. So we're a little behind, but just for the sake of knowing how long this point takes. So we can hear that the brewing process is getting close to happening. And when that does begin to peek through, we're just going to go ahead and turn that burner right off. The pressure has been established and it'll maintain itself. Matter of fact, you can just kind of monitor it, and if it seems to be coming quickly, just begin to pull that right off the stove. Now I have a little mark inside my mocha pot that I measured to be roughly 40 grams of water, because the basket tip fits roughly 20 grams of coffee. And when it gets to that point, I'm actually going to remove the mocha pot, and to end the brewing process, I'm going to dip the bottom of it in this cold little pocket of water. And as you can see, the brew stops. Now, why do I do that, you might ask? If you allow the mocha pot to brew to completion, that end process tends to be a little bit more bitter. So we're just going to avoid that, and we have roughly 40 grams of coffee in there, again, because I once measured, and now I just use that as kind of the guideline for myself. So now we have a strong espresso style drink in here. I'm just going to go ahead and pour this into a little espresso cup. And at this point, you could create whatever coffee beverage you'd like. If you're into Americanos, top it up with hot water. If you're into lattes or cappuccinos, go ahead and froth your milk if you have a means of doing that, and enjoy.